It is time to go back to the place it all began. Hello people, today is a very special occasion because 10 years ago Star Wars The Force Awakens was released in 2015. Yes, 2015 was 10 years ago, time really flies. So, to celebrate this very special occasion, me and a friend of mine rewatched the movie to find out if it really holds up or not, and the rest of the video is going to be a discussion we had on this topic. Side note, the audio might not be the best because we had one microphone to record this. I know, very professional of me, but I hope it will not bother you too much. Anyway, without further ado, let's talk about we first have to set the stage a little bit. Let's talk about our personal experience with Star Wars and with this movie. And I will start with you, my friend. I want to know your personal experience with Star Wars, what got you into the franchise to begin with.
Hello. Let me first give applause to the audience that was watching us. Applause, because you watched this video. Yippee. And secondly, about how we got into Star Wars, especially this movie. We were very young, kids, we might say. This movie was the hype of the year, at the end of the year. I was looking really forward to it, but I never got to see it. I saw it later, 2018, 2019. My connection was Lego games and some TV series that could play on national TV, and some movies, the latest being the trilogies. In addition, I had seen the first movie, episode 4 on cassette, because I own it. Now let's go back to your lovely creator. No.
Yes, I am. Yes, of course.
The mastermind behind all this madness that will happen.
I am the person who created this very professional video, I would say. My personal experience with Star Wars began in 2015 or 2016, I'm not really sure. I think it was between those 2 years. I didn't see this movie in theaters. I saw it later with all the others on my TV because I wasn't a fan of Star Wars at the time that the movie was released. It is weird to say, but there was a time where I didn't care for Star Wars. I thought it was something that some other people might like, but it wasn't for me.
Same.
Yes, but when I finally got around to watching the movies, I fell in love with the franchise. I really liked it. And actually, my experience with this movie specifically was weird because I don't have the connection that some other people have where they saw it in theaters as a kid. I saw it later, so the nostalgia that I have for the other movies in the sequel trilogy like The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker is not that present here. I was actually a defender of the sequel trilogy for some years before I changed my opinions, but this movie was never the one that I thought it was amazing. I thought it was pretty decent, I would say. So yeah, this was our experience, and now let's move on to talking about the film. The first question is, what is your current opinion on the film?
Yeah. Well, my friend, my fille, the movie for me is not boring, it's engaging, at least in the first half. The second half goes from that to very action at the second part, which continues the adrenaline. But especially the last 20 minutes, what is it?
Maybe something
the
like
second,
that.
The second end, after the super Death Star.
Starkiller Base.
Yeah, that Starkiller Base, I don't remember that name.
It is basically the Death Star, so there is not a big difference.
Yes. The second half, after it was destroyed, was kinda boring. Didn't need to be added. But the movie isn't bad, at least as a movie. As Star Wars, it's mediocre, it rehashes a lot of nostalgia, but it's enjoyable.
Well, I have a little bit of a different opinion, but I do agree with some of the stuff you said. I think the film is not well written. I have found many problems in my most recent rewatch. I think there are a lot of stuff regarding the plot and the characters and the writing in general that is... It is not great, it is not well executed, but I do think that the film is very fun to watch, as you said.
Yes.
At least for the first times that you are going to watch it, you will enjoy it. If you don't think deeper about some of the stuff that is shown, you will have a good time. But I think that enjoyment is not something that is equal to the quality of a movie. And we are going to prove that this film is the case for that. Have a lot of problems with it, right?
Yes. Sadly, yes.
Okay, so to give a little bit of structure to the discussion, so that the recording is not too long and I will be able to finish it by December, we have to divide what we talk about in sections. First of all, we will talk about the characters, if that's right with you.
Yes, we should at first talk really about the characters because it's a major point.
Exactly. After the characters, we will discuss the plot of the film because it is not great. It has many problems. But let's begin. First of all, the first of the main characters that we will be talking about is Poe Dameron. What is your opinion on Poe Dameron?
Well, let me say it first. Poe Dameron is not a bad character, but he's just a rehas character. He's a copy. That copy was from Han Solo. It was the rebel side of Han Solo. He doesn't have anything else. And it's a shame. Oscar Isaac did an amazing job, at least for the few minutes that he played, because he played at the start, at Jakku, before the ship was destroyed, and he comes back at the middle to end of the film. It's a shame. He could have done more things, and one of the points that brings down the movie.
Well, I personally don't have a lot of stuff to say about Poe Dameron. He's fine, I would say, in the movie. He's not really a character. He has some established motivations and character traits, like he's brave and he is very sarcastic in the face of danger, as we can see in the scene where Kylo Ren tries to intimidate him, but Poe Dameron deflects that with humor. Doesn't have a lot of stuff to do in the movie. He's basically gone in the opening and then he's back in the final battle, and this is because he wasn't originally supposed to be in the rest of the film. He was supposed to die in the first minutes. I think the director said that, but Oscar Isaac wanted to be in the rest of the films, so they wrote it so that he is back. And we will discuss about his return, how he survived in the plot section, but it is not great, I have to say that. And we will further discuss about his character in the next movies if we decide to do another video like this for the rest of the sequels in the next years. But yeah, as of right now, we don't have a lot of stuff to say. As for what you said, I do believe that he is kind of a copy of Han Solo. They have some similar characteristics, and this ties into the theme of the movie, which is that it wants to be like A New Hope. But this is something that we will discuss later as well. I think we are done with Poe Dameron. Would you agree?
Oh yeah.
So let's continue with some other characters. The next character is going to be Finn. We both have a lot of things to say about him. He was not very well handled, but let's begin with what you have to say.
Well, Finn is a kind of problematic character. We have talked about this in our personal lives.
Yes, we have
talked
about it a lot.
Yes, because, to be fair, Finn was the main character. Finn was supposed to be a main character. He was said to a goofy ass character. Like Finn started his journey. His journey started to be of a trooper that defected from the First Order, as we see in the clip, if you put it.
I probably will, so yeah.
You underestimate my power!
Hey, if you put it with a trooper seeing another trooper and blooded hand on his mask, seeing the horror. He started well. At the second act, he wanted to live, he wanted to be as far away as a trooper that defected from the Empire as he can be. He couldn't, he stayed to fight, he had the redeeming qualities at first, but in the third act, he gets beaten viciously. And the main character becomes Rey, which was the antagonist. Which, in this context, it isn't like she's a supporting character, she is a main character, but also could Finn would have stayed the main character. Right back to you.
Well, I have told you sometimes that I'm not really sure that I agree with the fact that he was supposed to be the protagonist. I see where you are coming from, that the movie starts with him, basically with his journey, that he breaks free from his conditioning so that he can be his own person. There are some things that show that he could be the main character, but the main comparison I will use to convince you about what I have to say is that A New Hope starts with the robots, C-3PO and R2-D2.
With Leia together.
Yes, and they are not the main characters because we do follow their journey in the beginning, in the first act of the film.
Yeah, I can see your point right now. You're saying that he could have been a primary second character than a protagonist?
Yes, something like that. I don't think it is an issue that he's not the main character. I think the issue is that he has problems regarding his motivations and
very much problems.
and some other stuff that he does, and I think you know about some of the stuff that I will be saying. First of all, before we talk about the problems, I think we should talk about what the film does right regarding his character. I think his first scene is very good, it is very well executed, because from the beginning we can see how he...
It shows his motivations and his character.
Yes, that's right. We see him hesitate about killing civilians in this village where they have sent them, and also we see him grappling with the death of some of his fellow troopers, and it is a really powerful scene because there is no dialogue. We see the emotion through the performance of the person playing the trooper, and it is all in the visuals. It is conveyed in a very clear way. I do have some problems with the concept of troopers that are taken from their homes and raised to be soldiers, and how Finn is able to break free from that, because that means that their conditioning is not very strong, and that is not what the film shows us, because Hux later says that they are programmed from the beginning, from their birth.
My men are exceptionally trained, programmed from birth.
But this is for another time. The rest of the movies don't do a lot of stuff about him, and I would say that this movie doesn't do a lot of stuff later on. In the opening we see the most important stuff, and then his development is not very developed. If that makes sense. One problem that Finn has as a character is that he's a former stormtrooper, but he then kills stormtroopers. And I do think that in some ways it makes sense because it is in self-defense, but there are...
Yeah, the scene at the rebel base, it is self-defense, but later on when they take the Super Death Star, it is kind of dumb.
So now let's talk about another character. Let's talk about Rey.
Rey, yeah, this perfect character. She has qualities that we're gonna talk about. The end fight, that she outmatches the power of Kylo Ren. I don't say in the fight, I say in the Force pull. In the last fight, when Kylo Ren tries to take the other lightsaber, the Luke's lightsaber, Rey outmatches him. It's a problem. Rey learns from the power of budget. It's stupid. But in the first shots, it really shows her a real character that we would not see for the rest of the trilogy. It is very obnoxious in the other two movies. She instantly learns how to do all the Force stuff. She instantly learns how to do all of the techniques, and she instantly does Force healing, which is never shown.
Yes.
But in this movie, since we talk about it, Rey is not obnoxious. It shows her journey from Dakar.
Yes.
It shows her journey from Jakku. It shows her journey from Jakku, which is a scavenger. She's living a life of enslavement, some would say. She gets obnoxious when she gets to Han Solo, where she says, with the power of budget, some mysterious stuff about how the spaceship runs.
I have a defense for that. She was working for this person, this alien that had the Falcon for many years, so she knows the modification he made. So this is why he knows some stuff that Han Solo doesn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's continue.
Yeah, okay. And she meets the lightsaber, which we're gonna talk about it later, like its own character, the lightsaber.
Yes, it is a character, and it is a good story for another time how Maz Kanata got it, but it is for later that we will discuss this.
Yeah, Rey isn't obnoxious, isn't it? She knows how to fight because she's a scavenger. She knows a bit of spaceships because she's a scavenger also. It's a simple character, regardless of look. Go back to you.
Yes, I think that Rey starts as a really good character in the beginning. Her first scene is great. It is really great, probably the best scene in the movie.
She shows the most character that has ever been seen from her.
Yes, that's right. From this scene forward, the character gets less development as the movie progresses. It is a really nice scene because it combines the visuals with the music and the technique of show don't tell to basically introduce to us her way of living, how she scavenges the ships, that he's stuck in this place, that she waits for her parents and all of that. And I really like the moment where she sees an old lady cleaning some metal thing and but yeah, I really like that scene because it symbolizes that if she doesn't leave the planet, this is the person that she's going to become. So yeah. But for the rest of the movie, she gets less and less development. And one major issue is how the relationship between Rey and Han Solo doesn't get fully developed. We get basically a few scenes with them, and there is not enough for her reaction when Han Solo dies in the movie. Spoilers for that, if you didn't know.
We don't care about spoilers. 10-year-old movie. We don't care about spoilers. And if a little kid is watching, you had a lot of time, but you were not born. I don't care. Go watch it. Go watch it before watch this.
So yes, there are some scenes that I do like from her, and I think her relationship with Finn is also very well developed. They have a lot of chemistry with each other, and the first act of the film does a good job of showing that relationship. But yeah, we don't get a lot of other stuff with her that is very meaningful. Now we get to Han Solo.
Han Solo, yeah, is one of the protagonists of the old trilogy. He plays a significant role, but it's also his ending. Kind of stupid ending, but we will talk about it in the story.
Yes.
He has a son, he's Kylo Ren. He has a wife that he abandoned with her child. Her child is...
This is very good character writing.
Yes. A father that was not that bad in the original trilogy becomes the worst parent in the world at the second trilogy. Han Solo is cut, like we said, which is Poe Dameron, the other part, the heroic part, the rebel part, and the other is Han Solo. He's a kind of a blunt character and capitalism nostalgia.
Yes, I also have a lot of stuff to say about Han Solo. I do not think he's done very well in this movie. He's kind of out of character. First of all, his decision to abandon Leia after what happened with Ben Solo is not something I believe he would have done, because he stayed with the other characters in the original trilogy throughout everything. And this is a decision that I don't think it's the best if you want to continue his story. The main thing I don't like about him is that he's regressed from what he was before. The line that clearly shows this is this one, where he says that
I went back to the only thing I was ever any good at.
And I don't think that's something that Han Solo would do. In general, character regression is something that happens in these movies, and as you may well know, I don't like when characters are regressed for the point of continuing the story. I have talked to you about a series that does this, a comedic series that I watched that did this for the new season.
Local. You have told them about a local series from our country.
Yes, this is a video that I will make at some point. I am writing the script, but yeah, the point is, to conclude on Han Solo, he's very regressed in this movie, and the reason why so many people don't really notice it, in comparison to Luke Skywalker, where most of them realized, is that he does not have a lot of screen time in the movie, so that's probably why.
Now we get to a very juicy point. Kylo Ren! So let's talk about him. Kylo is a very edgy character. He has daddy issues because his daddy abandoned them. And his mother, Leia, wasn't a good mother. And he has a bad relationship with his uncle that we see in the movie after this. Kylo Ren is not that bad of character. Adam Driver plays him very good, actually. He's a very good actor for this. It's a shame because the only thing they do in this movie is make him angry. Here we see just anger, and in one scene we see the sadness. But he ain't that bad.
Yes, I think that the concept of Kylo Ren is really good, but the execution is not great. In theory, he should be the copy of Darth Vader in a way where he was inspired by him to become the leader of the First Order. But the way they do it in the movie does not make a lot of sense, because Darth Vader was his grandparent and Leia and Han Solo were his parents, so he should have known that Darth Vader was redeemed when he became Anakin Skywalker again. So does he not know? Maybe. I don't know. Also, he makes a stupid decision regarding the droid. He chases the droid to take the map to get to Luke Skywalker, but then he finds Rey, and for some reason, he thinks that her memory of the map is better than having the actual map. So he takes Rey and leaves the droid. I mean, this is really stupid. I don't know what else to say about that. But yeah, in general, Kylo Ren is not great.
Well, quite an ending to the characters, but
yes,
we can finally move on to the plot, which is essential to understand the movie.
Okay, so the plot. The plot has quite a few problems that unfortunately we will have to skip some of them because we don't have many hours to break it down. That's how many problems the film has, so yeah. We will talk about the most basic things. First of all, the premise. The premise is that after the heroes succeed in the original trilogy, somehow the First Order takes the place of the Empire. How this happens, or how the galaxy feels about the First Order, or in general how much power and reach the First Order has, we don't know, because the film does not bother to explain this. We get a few lines that don't give us a lot of insight about that.
Like you said, one of the issues, and I would say in addition, it is that the movie recaps the original movie, episode 4 A New Hope takes a lot of scenes that could have been a little bit better, even if you took inspiration. The problem is it doesn't show us how the rebels have achieved power. They are still like the first movie.
First of all, they call the rebels the resistance in this movie because it is very different, as you see. Very, very different.
It tries to recapture the magic of the 1977 movie to at fault most of the time. We go back to Han Solo.
The Millennium Falcon, all of that. There is a lot of fan service with this chess they play in the ship with the holograms.
Yes. At least they could have done in matters of storytelling a bit of better polishing. You could sell the same story, but polish it a little bit. The rebels would have had planets. It shows the planets that rebels have captured, but we see it only for a split second before they are destroyed. And somehow the Empire is at full power. It is very stupid.
What you say about the film being a rehash of A New Hope is true. This is an obsession with the movie to return back to the status quo. The New Republic should be in charge now, but we don't get to see that, and the film pretends like the First Order is like the Empire, where they have full dominion over the galaxy. This is not the case with the First Order. But yeah, the main issue is that we are not shown the state of the galaxy to properly understand what we are watching. We don't know some basic stuff that we should have for the story to continue, because this is a sequel to the original trilogy, so some gaps should be filled. For the sake of time, let's get to if the premise makes sense. So first of all, the film begins with Poe Dameron having to retrieve the map to Luke Skywalker to find him. How this person got the plans, we don't know. And the next movie says that Luke Skywalker didn't want to be found, so this makes it even more stupid. So yeah.
Poe Dameron somehow survives.
Somehow Poe Dameron returned.
Like Palpatine with the...
Yes, and the funny thing is that this is the character that says the line, the iconic line, so this is great. We are jumping a little bit ahead, but let's talk about that now that you mention it. Poe Dameron survived. We are not given a full explanation. He says that he woke up at night, there was no Finn, there was no ship, nothing. And somehow he managed to walk in the desert for a long time. We see how Finn struggles doing that in the beginning.
Yes, then he finds somehow a ship and he goes back to Rebels.
Yes, and then he manages to go to Takodana where the Han Solo and the rest are.
It's more of a plot device.
This is not very well explained, and it makes the plot suffer from it. Let's move on to something else.
Yay! Yeah, then we go to chasing, to getting to spaceship of Millennium Falcon. Somehow Millennium Falcon has returned.
Yes, regarding the Millennium Falcon, I would have to say that it is a huge contrivance how Han Solo manages to find it in space.
In the next scene, Han Solo finds it, and it's somehow Han Solo has returned.
Yes.
How do he do? How everybody has returned?
I don't know. This is the franchise where everyone returns. There is a movie with this in the title. It says Return of the Jedi. But yeah, Han Solo finds the ship. It is implied in another scene that he could track the ship, so this is how he found it. But the problem is that he was in the area. He was close to Jakku when this happened, so it is very contrived because space is big. It is very lucky for him to have found it.
Then we get to fight scene with monsters. That's the only thing we get to see. They try to break off.
One small thing that I also want to add here is that the Millennium Falcon goes to hyperspace while it is still on the ship, which I don't think it makes sense given how hyperspace works.
We're going to the next scene. The next scene is the bar scene. I don't remember the planet. Tell me. Takodana. I have a bad memory of those because the movie doesn't really say what the planet were.
I am not really sure that it is stated in the movie. I remember it from the Lego sets, to be honest.
We just go to a planet. There's a bar. We find an old lady. The old lady talks to the main characters. Finn's motivations are finally revealed.
I think something I want to mention about the scene in the bar is how after Rey finds the lightsaber
and she gets, like the Harry Potter ones, she is chosen by it. Then she gets phantoms and illusions that of future and past somehow.
Yes.
Present simple, present past perfect. No.
But I cannot overstate how monumentally stupid it is that the lightsaber just happened to be there. How did she find it? It fell down
It's kind of dumb. It somehow found Rey, and Rey used it.
We are never told why the lightsaber is here. Maz Kanata says that it is a good story for another time, which is basically the way that this film is written.
Because J.J. Abrams can't write the story.
Yes, that's right. He does not know how to write a story, and The Rise of Skywalker is the perfect example. This film is not as bad as The Rise of Skywalker, but it is bad. I don't think it's good.
Rey goes out, she gets scared, she finds Kylo Ren somehow. Kylo Ren doesn't kill her in the spot because he wants to detain her. Stupid, very stupid.
And then they go to find Rey to also destroy the Starkiller base, which is basically the Death Star, but bigger. This is not me saying it, this is the film. The film says that.
This is Starkiller Base.
So it's big.
And yeah, they somehow manage to find each other in this big base, because Rey climbs on things. We then get to the final battle.
Here comes the next invasion, the Rebel invasion. This is a real carbon copy of the original movie. Then, like Obi-Wan goes, Han Solo goes and tries to talk to the villain. We go out. Rey and Finn get chased. Finn then gets destroyed.
Yes, and for some reason, Kylo Ren doesn't just force freeze Rey, which is something he did previously.
It's not that. He doesn't use the force powers to stop them.
You could say that this is because he wants to fight them in a fair fight.
A fair fight.
But-
But what doesn't matter is the scene where she overpowers him. Like Finn loses the lightsaber. Okay, Finn is not inexperienced. Then Rey gets powers from Disney.
She remembers that the Force is something that exists. She closes her eyes and she then beats him. And then the ground splits in two pieces, which is which is really funny.
Unlike the movie shows, it would go and get cut first and then destroyed. But if you close your mind off, it doesn't really matter. What matters is the ending, because we see Finn in a very bad state, then we see Poe Dameron, then Rey finds Skywalker. Luke is like a hobo. But that's a problem from the other movie.
Yes.
And the movie ends.
The next movie does a great job at Luke Skywalker.
Yes. Like we said, the movie isn't that good. It's mediocre as a movie, but it's kind of bad for a Star Wars movie. At least from the previous one. We had the first episode, the second episode, and the third episode, which the third episode was the best. And then we get to Rihas.
Well, yes, that's a problem with the movie. It tries to be A New Hope, but unlike A New Hope, it is not well written. It has many problems regarding characters, plot, and it also isn't that good as a sequel, which is a problem because it is the first of the sequel trilogy. So yeah, this is how the movie holds up after we revisit it 10 years later, and we have a lot of other things to say. There are many notes that we are not said in this video because
Time restrictions.
yes, both for me because I have to finish the video by December, if I manage to do that. Let's close it off.
If you
and
want
say-
to check it out, go check it. It's Disney Plus, it's a Blu-ray, don't care where you somehow check it. You find yourself if this movie is good or not. This is just a small talk between the bad and the good that we have seen.
Yes, this is just a discussion between some friends about this movie. I would have said much more if it was a proper review. But yeah, I think it was fun. Would you agree?
Yes.
So yeah, say goodbye to the audience and let's finish this.
Well, goodbye to all of you. Hope you like it. Like and subscribe like they always say. And have a nice time.
And this video is sponsored by
By no one.
by no one. Bye. Hey, this is the outro for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it because it was really fun to record and to do the funny editing in a lot of places. Though I have to say that it was a lot of work. I had 1 month to edit it from beginning to end, while also attending university for the first year, so I kind of had to split the time between the university projects and this one. I am really proud with how this video turned out. I would like to do something similar in the future, because I had a great time. I had done a similar type of video to this 3 years ago with another friend. I would recommend for you to check it out because while I don't think it is as good in comparison to what I do now, and I also don't really agree with some of the stuff I said, it is a lot of fun. I would like to give a big thank you to my friend, Lego Batman, in case you were wondering who is who. When I first mentioned the idea, he was on board to do this, and I am very happy that he agreed to this because it was a lot of fun. He actually has a channel of his own. If you would like to check it out, I will put the link in the description. He is working on a video to upload, so you can check it out when it's done. It is a compilation of playing video games and stuff. I don't know a lot of stuff about video games, so you better check it out for yourselves to see what it is. So that is all for now. Merry Christmas, if I manage to finish this video tomorrow because I am recording this in the 24th, and I will see you soon in the next video.